and welcome to my first video. I'm Marcus, aka Dave. I'm your host for this particular video. It's a video that I wanted to do, or start doing, just kind of go through the average, everyday Joe iRacer, and what my decision making is during this race, how I came to those decisions, and why I did the things I did. So we're doing a little bit of GT3 here at Sebring in the GT3 Fixed series, driving the Audi R8 with a paint on it from Bryce L on Trading Paints. Does a lot of awesome paints, and they're real bold colors, as you can see. Awesome spec maps, original designs, not replica liveries. So if you're looking for something different, that's not a real world looking livery, or one that was run in the real world, awesome way to go, I think. So all right, so we're out here on our out lap, getting ready for qualification. First lap in quali was a 2:02.252, pretty decent for me, but I knew there was more time in it, and the second lap I got there a little bit better. So we're gonna see that lap here in a moment, right after the last few turns here. Just a little warm up, gonna get in the mood with some music to lap by, and see where we go from there. We'll jump into the race directly after that. So let's see what we can do. I really had fun in this race. It was a race I enjoyed. Shows what I believe I can do and that I am improving, and I wanted to share it. So here we go, last corner. Let's see what she can do here at Sebring. All right, here we come, finishing out the last couple corners down the back straight at Sebring in my fastest qualifying lap. Pretty good for me, I thought. I'm definitely learning and trying to get better. So hopefully this is the start of a documentation of that process. But as a whole, I think I'm a pretty decent race driver to race against. And you're going to see that here, hopefully, in this race, or at least a little bit of it. So again, finished up quali with a 2:01.643, which put me in 11th. So now we're coming around the end of the pace lap. Just fast forward through that. Nobody wants to see the full pace lap. It's 3 minutes of boring. As the lights go, you hit the gas, and we're off. So I got a decent jump on the light. It wasn't great. A lot of people were waiting for the leader to go, and with the big final corner there, sunset at Sebring, it's hard to tell when to go. So I just went when I saw the lights go green, because that seemed like when everybody else went. So we're just gonna push through here. First lap's always the hectic one, so we're trying to be as fast as we can while being as careful as possible. So we have this white Lambo in front of us and a white Audi in behind us. I don't think we lost any positions off the bat. I think we maintained 11th, but I'm not 100% sure. So first time through the hairpin, though, the white Audi, he goes for it and then doesn't really leave too much room on the left. I was fully like 3/4 of a long side, so I just tried to keep my line. I was on the curb, he wasn't being touched. It was a 0x, so I'll take that. I end up maintaining the position, so I'm fine. We push and we go. So a lot of what happens here in the next few laps is just us making laps. So it's a fixed race, and I recorded the replay. So you'll notice the telemetry, the steering input, gas, and all that. Well, you can't see the steering because I'm on a ultra wide, so there's some bits that are cut off for the recording anyway. But you'll see that as we have another white Audi have a little spin here at Le Mans, the second to final corner, get around him along with the Lambo. But you'll see the relative telemetry from Race Labs is a little bit wonky when you run it on a recording. I have my standings up in the top left, but covered it up because it was off anyway. And plus I like the overhead view, so you can kind of see what's happening around the car as well a little bit, not just from the driver's view. And I also realized during this process that the replay doesn't give you the virtual mirror. Even though it's enabled during the race, it doesn't record it. So something to know for next time. All right, we're pushing through again. Again, we have another white Audi. I believe this is the one that we had a little bit of contact with the first time as well, Mr. Stapp. And he's a guy that likes to put his nose in, as it were. I wouldn't say anything over aggressive or untoward. It just didn't make sense a lot of times when he did it. Again, give him room here. He doesn't really push for it, so back through the hairpin we go. Maintain the position. At this point, I'm getting a little bit worried that the Lambo is getting away from us. So I'm focused forward. Let's push up, try to get back on the back of that Lambo and see if we can push through the field from here. So at this point, I believe we're P10, even though, again, the standings, the numbers next to the car over on the relative are incorrect. Again, Race Labs with a replay. I believe we're P10 at this point, behind Mr. Vargas. So I'm gonna chase him. We're gonna see if we can catch back onto him. Felt like I had good pace this whole race in this field. Qualifying aside, I'm not the best at throwing down the hottest laps. 100% will admit to that. Again, something that I'm working on, but pretty decent at feeling out the field, trying to race my race, as it were. If I know there's a guy that I can race and potentially overtake, I'm going to try to go get him. But you also know when you're just beat and the guy that you're either chasing or is chasing you is just faster. So you got to let him go sometimes. Either way, we're pushing. We're almost back on back of him here, going around my favorite apex here at Sebring, turn 1, because that apex marker, the orange traffic cone, is on the fence, up at the top of the fence, and I just enjoy that for whatever reason. It makes me laugh. So we're back through the S's here, if you will. Turns 3, 4, and 5, going back down towards turn 7 and the hairpin one more time. Now you'll see we've pushed a little bit of a gap to the two white Audis behind us as we've caught up to our Lambo friend. Now from here, I was trying to figure out where he was weak, where I could gain, and where I could potentially overtake, because even though there's a lot of long straights on Sebring, the heavy braking zones are tight. So overtaking into Sunset is one of the bigger overtaking spots, but you have to really have it done before you get to the actual turn-in most of the time to make it work. depending on who you're racing with, because it's real easy to push somebody wide if you're going inside, and it's really easy to run wide if you're trying to go around the outside. The next probably best spot is going to be at the hairpin, as you saw me defending earlier, and you can even get it done here at Le Mans corner if the car you're trying to overtake runs wide, pushes out onto the grass. Basically what I try to do is get people in there to make a mistake, you know, make them push harder than they should, make them run wide, whatever it might be. Not trying to be overly aggressive, just trying to make them uncomfortable. So here we go, pushing through lap 13. We have our first casualty of the race, our friend in the pink BWT Ferrari hit the grass on the left and ended up in the pit wall on the right, and his race was done. He disconnected shortly after that. So we're going through, again, pushing a nice little gap between us and the Audis behind, but I'm starting to notice that this 4-car gaggle that me and the Lambo are chasing is, I think, going to start slowing us down. So I'm starting to sit back and wait because I see the red red Ferrari. He's kind of weaving a little bit. He's looking for a spot. I'm thinking might be aggressive here. So we want to sit back just a touch, give ourselves a chance to react to any potential incidents that might occur in front of us. And also try to not be too far back to where we can't take advantage of them and get through them quickly. So again, right on back at the Lambo. This is a pretty common view for the majority of this race. The Lambo is pretty quick. I would say he did have a little bit of a... He had some spots I felt like I could exploit anyway. So we're pushing through the backside through... What is this? Gendebien, I think? I'm trying to remember the corner names, but turn 15 anyway. So onto Le Mans, onto the back straight before the final corner. So I really felt here at this point, 4 laps in, into Sunset, into the final corner was where I was probably going to be best suited to get the Lambo, because I felt like I had pace and I was letting up because I didn't want to be right on top of the Lambo's bumper as we came into the brake zone and turn-in point for Sunset. It just cause for disaster could potentially happen, you know. It brakes a little early, I react a little late, I touch, we spin, everybody feels bad. So again, I thought we might have had a disaster in front of us. The Lambo got real close to that Beamer's rear, but all is good, everybody gets through. Now things are starting to shake out here. I'm feeling like the BMW has lost pace, maybe pushed a little too hard, has overworked the tires early. I'm not sure. In these sprint races, these GT3 Fixed series races, generally that's not a big deal, but can be done because I've done it. At least I felt like I've done it. So trying to work on being easier on inputs with steering as well as brake and throttle, something that I've actually started getting some coaching on, which is actually pretty fun. So we'll get more into that later probably. But as I'm watching other drivers, I'm trying to see what's happening, you know, what's in front of me. I'm trying to be mindful of the guy behind me as well, because he was a little bit, like I said, divey would be, I guess, a way to put it. Again, not by any means anything bad, just I had to keep my eye on him. So trying to see what the Beamer's going to do, if the Lambo can get by him. I know I can get a run up on to the back of the Lambo through those back corners and onto the penultimate corner here at Le Mans, and there it goes. Beamer pushes too hard. He's on the grass. I'm right behind the Lambo. We can both get clear of him real quick, and I'm going to show the Lambo my nose. Also, I didn't really want to go for the move here because I didn't want to overspeed because of the slipstream I had. I didn't want to overshoot again, run wide, push into him. We're both out. It's not a good it's not a good idea to do if you think you can do it, but then there's that chance. Just avoid it altogether. Staying in the car and staying in the race is going to be a better result most of the time. All right, so past the Beamer, we're good. So now we're on to this group of Ferraris. Now they pushed away from us a little bit. They were able to separate a bit because the Beamer again lost a little bit of pace, and the off slowed us up because we had to slow up for him just a touch. So they were able to make a little bit of a gap. But again, me and the Lambo, we worked pretty well together for this race. I never really tried to push a move on him. I showed him the nose of the car into sunset on that last lap. Again, that was tactical to show him the nose, but also just to keep from being in his back, just in case anything weird happened. And I like that tighter line through sunset, so it worked out. So here we go. We're going into turn 11 and starting to feel like we're closing the gap here. Down to Olsen, Conway, the three Ferrari runners, and I believe Oliveira was in the lead Ferrari of this three. So we're just really trying to maintain at this point and hoping that, I know the Lambo's quick here in a straight line for sure, so I'm hoping to work with him to push up into the back of those Ferraris in behind them, and then see what we can work here as we get into the final laps. So 20 minutes is all we have here, so roughly about 9-10 laps. We ended up, I believe, getting 10 in. So works out really nicely that we were able to get 10 laps in, and you'll see why here in a few laps. All right, following through again. Favorite Apex. Hello, Mr. Cone. And then we have an off right there. Okay, cool. And then you'll see death behind. Really bad idea to rejoin there. Just something you want to avoid. You got to keep an eye on your relative. If you have like a track map like I do here in the top right, it helps you identify where cars are. Ideal to have that. I really recommend using stuff like that when you have an off. Pay attention to it. Try to find a gap, and at the very least, get off the racing line. So, lesson learned hopefully there. I believe he complained. I don't remember if I have the voice chat on in this recording or not, but I believe he complained that the BMW, which is the one that we passed earlier, was not paying attention or monitoring local yellow. And the Beamer's reply, I think, was pretty solid. Yeah, don't pull onto the track either way, because, you know, cars are coming around. Lesson learned again. So on we go. It's a position. We'll take it. Freebies are freebies. Everybody gets them. Sometimes you are the freebie. Sometimes you get the freebie. Hopefully you get more than you are of the freebies. But we're pushing here. Just trying to, again, hold station, see if we can find a gap to get through. I'm going to show him the nose again here. Again, this one was more tactical. Let him think about the pass without actually trying. The previous one was definitely, okay, I just don't want to be in the back of him as we're into the braking zone. So again, just trying to make him uncomfortable, see if we can unsettle him into making a mistake. And we're on to lap number 8. And again, just pushing through. And I was happy right here. This was a good spot. We are both keeping pace. I do think I was probably being held up a little bit by the Lambo, but not enough at this point to really make a difference. And nothing that I wouldn't, try to throw a move out of nowhere in to just gain a position for no reason and put both cars in jeopardy. So we'll hold behind him, see if any more opportunities arise, which I had a feeling, like I said before, watching those guys battling in the Ferraris, I had a feeling that was something that could come up. So And here we go. One more time. we're just holding station, chilling. And I started noticing here into turn 13, that might be a place where I could maybe get by our Lambo here. It would be a bit of a sin to do it, but if I had the right run on him and could keep inside on the right side before the turn, it could work. So I kept that in the back of my head because he was starting to float a little wide on it. But we get a good run off the exit of Le Mans, and then this time pull out a little early. We got a decent run, and we're gonna go for it. Again, inside line. He was taking that wide line anyway, so I knew I would have room. Again, I was watching him, trying to see where he was fast, where I could get him, that kind of stuff. So I knew it was a place we could be pretty safe getting that move done. So I go for it and get it done here. He goes for the inside here, and we nearly connect on the first corner. And I've had a few people go inside there. I just don't understand the move unless you are fully ahead by the time the turn-in point arises. You're just going to have to slow down, and you're going to be like this almost at the apex, or at the apex when the other car coming through the actual racing line, the faster line, is trying to get to the apex. And again, it's a bad situation. And you can see that instead of a Lambo behind me, there's an Audi behind me. So again, lesson learned. Why go for the move there? You're going to lose so much speed and so much pace that in this case here, the Lambo lost 2 positions in the span of 2 corners. So at this point, going after that overtake, I feel like I can get to these Ferraris before the end of the race and maybe pick up another position. So I'm not looking back, focused forward. We're pushing. 'Cause I know this is lap 9. We got maybe one more lap after this, so it just really depends. And I'm hoping we get that extra lap. So I'm seeing them start to battle again. They're all within, a few tenths of each other, like less than a second separates them. I believe right now it's like less than half a second. So I'm just hoping to push, hoping that they slow each other down enough and I'm keeping enough pace that we can get on the back of them and maybe get a little extra out of this race in the final lap. So here we are, coming around sunset on the second to last lap. So we're going to get the white flag here. And the white Audi is still there behind me, but I'm at this point not too worried about him. I know that I'm probably got better pace than him. And again, like the Lambo, he seems to just want to gain positions because there's a position in front of him. So I'm not worried about him. And then I see this. The 2 Ferraris going at each other. The white and blue Ferrari pushes the red Ferrari wide. He gets off. And me and the Audi are both through. And I think the Lambo even gets through. So I see him probably going to go inside. I was kind of hesitant. You can kind of see it in my reaction there. But I wanted to defend, and it was a bit aggressive, but I don't think it was out of bounds. Let me know. But I think it was perfectly fine. You can definitely see my hesitation in the steering input. But we're getting past this Ferrari, or trying to, and I just have to keep the inside here, so I'm going to keep it. And then I get the all clear from crew chief on that, and I'm on the racing line. And again, pushing forward. At this point, we're up in P6. Give me more. And you can see again, the white Audi behind us going for a move because he doesn't want to lose position behind me, and ends up self-spinning in that corner because just no patience. Gotta be patient, especially with cars like the Audi that do have a tendency to over-rotate pretty easily, especially if you're being really aggressive. So we're behind this other white Ferrari here. At this point, unless he crashes, I know I'm not going to gain that position, but I'm pretty happy with the P6 here. Pretty stoked. from P11 to P6 in car number 17. And the most important part, we kept the car clean. 0x, even with that contact early. What more can you do? So take a quick look at the results. We'll see a nice, juicy SR gain, 0.15. 45 I rating. Overall, excellent result. Take it any day of the week at any race. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed racing it. We'll see you next time.